Howdy ho there, neighbors. And I know what you're thinking. I just had this neat kind of cinematic intro with canned hops, and my video says fresh hops. What the fuck? So anyway, I did use fresh hops on this. I cut down a few out of my garden. They were ready. 2 binds, well, 2 plants, so I guess 4 binds of Chinooks, 2 binds, 1 plant of Columbus, and then a little bit of Cascade thrown in for good measure. And I don't know why Cascade's not really growing in my garden. The only thing that's going a little worse is the Centennial. And if you ever talk with a hop grower, Centennial is one of the most difficult hops to grow. In fact, I've heard a few times people say things like, oh, so-and-so said they wouldn't grow Centennial if it wasn't for Bell's Two-Hearted, which might be the case. I don't know. I'm not a hop grower. But anyway, Centennial's a difficult one. Cascade, I know people 90 minutes north of me in Columbus that have Cascade coming out their ears. It grows so well. It's not that different down here in the middle of summer. It's hotter than hell. I don't know. Anyway, so I did use fresh hops. It came out with just under 2 pounds of them. And by just under, I had 1 pound, 14.6 ounces. So like another 1.4 ounces, I would have had 2 pounds. Used 11 pounds of Pilsner, 1 pound of Munich, half a pound of Carapils. The Munich was Munich 1, so it's the Wehrmann Munich 1. It's like an SRM of 9-ish. They give a range, actually. They don't even say like, oh, this is always SRM 9. It's like SRM 8 to 10 or something like that. So SRM 9, we'll go with that. I did use 1.5 ounces of Magnum at bittering, or at 60 minutes to bitter it. All fresh hops, 20-minute whirlpool. And they were, of course, in bags because hops and a pump don't go well together. You might think, hey, maybe the pump will just tear up the hops, which probably isn't a good thing. It won't. The hops get clogged. They get clogged in the tubes going into the pump that don't even make it to the pump, and it just makes for a very, very bad brew day. So I didn't mess with that. I'm not stupid. Hops were in bags. I had them hanging like near my boil kettle during, like, as I'm getting ready to lead up to where I'm using them, to the end of boil, which I kind of thought, hey, this is like, if I was, a butcher, this would be sausage, but since I'm a home brewer, this is hops. So I didn't care about the numbers on this one. OG Beersmith said I should get a 1068. I got a 1062. So for not really giving a damn, I got pretty close. Beersmith also, though, said final gravity of 1015. Not sure where they got that, because I got 1009. Literally 6 off going down. It's kind of funny. So I got the same ABV, I guess. I didn't actually calculate that. It's about 5. I just call everything it's about 5. So during trying it and stuff, and during fermentation, or, well, at the end of fermentation, really, I wasn't totally thrilled with the hop character, so I did throw in 2 ounces of Columbus, just to kind of kick it up a notch. It tastes really good. So maybe if I wave this, it'll kind of focus in. I'm still learning on the camera. I think it likes my face. There maybe. So anyway, it's got some haze to it. I actually used SO5 on this. So in those hop boxes that I get from Yakima Valley Hops, one of the last boxes, I'm not even sure if it's the last one, it may have been the one before it, they sent a pack of SO5. So I said, what the hell, I'll use that. It's hazier than I expected, but I didn't gelatin, didn't cold crash, well, until I put it in a keg. I did use Irish moss. That's kind of a standard thing with me, but it didn't do much. It's got a haze to it. Nice kind of a, sort of a goldish color. I'm wondering if my mash pH is a little high, because a lot of my beers turn out a little darker than I expect. Based on the stuff I've read on the internet, it sounds like maybe the mash pH is a little high. Anyway, aroma-wise, lots and lots of orange and tropical fruit, almost like a juicy orange, lovely juicy orange. There's some, I think it's papaya maybe in there, a little bit more subtle. Not really much by way of malts, but you know, when you have 11 pounds of Pilsner, 1 pound of Munich, half a pound of Carapils, you're not going to get a whole lot of malt aroma, particularly competing with the hops. There is a little bit of a malt flavor there. Plenty of hoppiness. Again, lots of orange. Little bit of pine, just kind of buried in there. A lot of tropical fruit like papaya. Somewhat simple, but tastes really good. It's not as bitter as I wanted to. In fact, I've been calling this a fresh hop pale ale because those Magnum hops that I've been using, I've been using these for a while, and if you go back in some of these old videos, you hear me bitch about it. They just don't seem very bitter. And these are not Yakima Valley Magnum hops. This was before I started buying from them. Maybe that's where I buy my next ones, probably. But it always seems like they're underbittered. And for something that's a 10 point something alpha acid, throwing an ounce and a half in seems like it should be getting me there, at 60 minutes. But it's just not. This to me is, it's a bitter pale ale, but it's still within that pale ale style to me. I took it to one of the Malt Infusers Club meetings here recently. People love the flavor. Everyone's kind of on the fence with the bitterness. There's some that said, yeah, you're kind of in there, but not West Coast. Definitely not West Coast. To me, it's just not bitter enough for an IPA. But it is a wonderful beer. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. And maybe one of these days I'll have a lager to go with it. But at least for now, it's working for me. So, cheers.